Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a brand new deck guide for you guys today. We're going to be using this Fallen One deck that I actually got a lot of games with last night, and it was performing really well with me. We are running Galactus once again. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. In case you guys did not know, the Fallen One is a 5-cost, 5-powered card. On reveal, set your max energy equal to this card's power, which is really interesting because in the list we are going to be showcasing today, we have a couple different ways to get that card power. Whether that is a Symbiote Spider-Man, a Galacta, a Gwenpool, or a Mr. Fantastic First Steps. Those are two of your main lines, or not two, 4 of your main lines. You also do have Surge to be able to potentially ramp it out early. But the thought process here, and like another reason why we have Psylocke in this list, is to get one of these 4-cost cards out early. Whether that is a Gwenpool to be able to hit our hand and get some value on turn 3, Galacta to be able to hit a Symbiote Spider-Man a little bit later, and then set up your Fallen One onto the Symbiote Spider-Man, or even Zabu is also one of those enablers on 3. Or on 1 to allow you to have a 4-cost card to come out on 3. You're using that pretty much as kind of like your main lines there. You have Panther and Nimrod as 2 of your great Symbiote Spider-Man Zola targets, or just good Zola targets in general. If you can get your Fallen One into a Symbiote Spider-Man, on turn 6 you have 13 energy, which allows you to play at least a 5-cost and a 6-cost simultaneously. That is also like just a major plus there. There's some instances where you could like get the Fallen One out early, like with a Surge, or we've had some games you'll see in the video where we have Elysium to be able to get some crazy value too. But we're also just kind of like setting up Galactus, and you're using Galactus as also just a win con in this deck. It is like Galactus and Zola are like the only ways to destroy Nimrod, and they're actually pretty solid as the only 2 ways to destroy Nimrod itself. And I'm winning games just by doing Galactus or just doing Zola things, which is really nice with this list. It doesn't make it necessarily one-dimensional. They might also think, oh, well, I'm just going to Symbiote Spider-Man into Panther. I need to protect myself from a Zola, but then you Galactus another lane, and then they literally don't have any way to kind of counteract that. You kind of snap aggressively with this deck too, because more often than not, if you do hit your opponent, especially with an earlier Galactus, they're going to retreat. So in order to maximize cubes, you're pretty much going to be aggressive with your snaps, and also being aggressive when you have the, Fallen One line. Because if you have that extra energy going into turn 6, your opponent's going to retreat. More often than not, they're just going to retreat. So snapping when you have that huge, I'm going to be dropping a lot of energy this final turn, let me snap into making it so I have it set up. You can also use that kind of as like a bluff snap as well, to make it seem like you actually have a crazy combo set up. And you have, an excess amount of energy. Even hitting Fallen One like once with the Galacta, getting him to like 7 power, it makes it so you have 8 energy on turn 6. Like, it just feels really solid into this. You're not using this as a primary win con. You have all these other outs as some of your options there. But this is another just bonus to help you if you maybe draw your combos a little bit late. You have, a Fallen One in order to be able to get those combos out at that later point, opposed to, well, I built everything up here, now they kind of know what I'm doing. So it helps kind of with like that unpredictableness with this, which is also why I like having Galactus in here. So it's not just, oh, they're just going to Panther Zola, or they're just going to Nimrod Zola. I know, I have Galactus. I have another win con for you. And I actually have set up just some Symbiote Spider-Man Galactus stuff too into some of these like opponents' locations, and able to like just like fight for priority and win the game. Like, it's really interesting. Like, it's definitely a list where you're kind of like fighting for priority, because there is a lot of Juggernaut, there is Cosmo, there is Cannonball and stuff going on. So you're kind of trying to think that in mind, especially playing a Galactus list. More often than not, you are trying to fight for priority anyways, to make sure you can get that Galactus off. But that's kind of like just what I was doing conceptually with this list. Deck code, of course, will be down in the description below, and now we're going to break down why we have each card in this list individually. So starting out first and foremost, we have Zabu in this list. We have Galacta, Symbiote Spider-Man, and Gwenpool. We have 3 different 4-cost cards that we would love to potentially get out early. That's why we have Zabu in here, to be able to discount those cards. Next, of course, we do have Surge. Surge we're using to either energy mitigate with a Zabu, or maybe you don't have the Zabu, or you don't have the Fanta. You have Surge in order to be able to discount some of these cards, giving them extra power as well. An earlier Galactus is nice. An earlier Nimrod can also be great. Getting extra power onto your Zola, so it's not just 0-powered Zola when you go to, create copies of new cards. That's also really nice with this Surge, and also like gives you kind of like a feeling of having extra energy. But like you have Psylocke in here to really be able to. I don't have a Surge. I don't have a Zabu. I'm playing Psylocke on 2, and I'm getting a 4-cost card down on 3. There's no card in the game that is mitigating energy at the moment, unless your opponent Vipers over a Havoc onto you. So you're using this to be able to kind of reach some of those combos. Maybe you also wanted to get a Nimrod out a little bit earlier too. Or you have a Galactus. You have Galactus hit by Surge. You want to get Galactus out a little bit earlier. You have Psylocke to be able to kind of enable some of those combos for either late game or earlier game. More often than not, I'm using it for earlier game, but she feels pretty solid of this list. You also have Pedro if you don't really have any of those 4 drops to play on 3. Or if you're just really trying to juice up maybe even those 4 drops on 3 itself too, you're playing Pedro instead to be able to buff your Nimrod, buff your Zola, buff your Galactus. Definitely your Nimrod, Panther, and Galactus are 3 of the main cards you're wanting to buff. Symbiote Spider-Man is also another really good card to buff to be able to set up some of these combos later in the game. So Fantastic is in here to be able to add the extra power or also discount their cost. You have Gwenpool to be able to give cards power. Of course, you know, the Fallen One getting power makes it so you get more energy because it's based off of his power when he does reveal himself. Also good into Symbiote, good into Galactus, good into Nimrod, Panther, a bunch of different options that can just get really good value from Gwenpool. You have Galactus in here too to help more often with your Symbiote Spider-Man, also with your Galactus, with your Nimrods, Panthers, because when this reveals, of course, that is when the card has the +2 power. It's not afterwards like with Nico. Your card has to play out itself entirely to get the +2. With Galacta, it's really nice that, you know, it starts with a +2 before stuff happens. So your Panther goes to 7 power, and then on reveals and goes to 14, opposed to just 10, which is really nice with Galacta. Symbiote Spider-Man, of course, you know, it merges with the card at the lowest cost and makes the on reveal copy again. So, like, that's why it works with Galactus. You play this onto a Galactus lane, Galactus doesn't go off, but then you merge it with Symbiote Spider-Man, and then the Galactus, you know, gets to be 13 power and then goes off. Or with Nimrods, you can't do this with, like, a Kid Omega kind of situation here. You can't activate Kid Omega and activate Symbiote Spider-Man because the Nimrod doesn't really exist there at that point, so it doesn't work that. That's why we don't have Kid Omega on this list, and we have, like, a Psylocke instead. So just keep that in mind. You do need to activate this into your Nimrod before you Zola it, or activate this into your Galactus. Like, you have to play the card first and then activate, and then you would play the follow-up card. You can't just activate and then play the card, or this doesn't grab anything. So you got to make sure you've the card played, and then you activate Symbiote Spider-Man in order for this to work properly. Next, of course, Black Panther. A really good merge card with the Symbiote Spider-Man. Really good card for Zola. Really good card to get hit by Gwenpool, Galacta, Mr. Fantastic for steps. Just a bunch of different options there, even Surge, to be able to get value from this card and have like a later game kind of combo piece, which is nice. We then, of course, had the Fallen One. We're trying to buff this card as much as possible to be able to get as much energy, but it's not necessarily a primary win con. We have different outs here, which is really nice, which I like with the Symbiote Spider-Man being one of those lines here, so you're not pouring into, I have to hit the Fallen One here to be able to do what I want to do. This is just a really good way to be able to have just extra energy going into later turns, or to be able to just kind of snap aggressively and just steal not steal cubes, but get cubes, because your opponents are probably going to retreat when they see how much energy you have. Next, of course, we do have Nimrod. The only ways to destroy this are with Zola and with Galactus. So you're using this either by itself after it's been buffed by another card, or if it's merged with a Symbiote Spider-Man, to be able to get value from this as well. So just kind of like keeping also in mind where this card bounces to kind of play out where you want to play Galactus too, because there's instances where you can only get 1 Nimrod in a Galactus lane, and there's also instances where you can get 2 to 3. It really just depends on the way you destroy the locations, because it does go from left to right. Let's say you played Galactus on the far left and you played Nimrod in the middle. When that middle location destroys, you get one of those Nimrods into that Galactus lane, and then one goes over to the far right lane. And then when that card also, when that gets destroyed as well, you then will get the Nimrod onto the far left lane, so you end up with 2 Nimrods there in the Galactus lane, which more often than not, that's kind of the base of it, opposed to 3. It really just depends on how everything's been working out for you, but more often than not, you're really wanting to get close to 2 to 3 Nimrods, but you're really only going to get like 2. 3 is like a crazy scenario, so just keep that in mind. But there is definitely some really cool lines you can do, like with Nimrod stuff. And then, like I said, with Zola, you're either, you know, Zolaing your Panther, you're Zolaing your Nimrod. You could potentially Zola your Galactus. If you need to get into another location, your opponent doesn't really have enough power there. You could do a Zola into Galactus just to win that location. But more often than not, that's not going to be one of your plays. It's like you're merging, like you're Zolaing your symbiote Spider-Man, and then I think you're then getting your Nimrod value and stuff. But like it has to have merged first. There's some instances where maybe you would preemptively Zola a symbiote Spider-Man prior to anything happening, but that's really just like very, very, very situational, and you have to like have some really freaky energy and stuff because the activate on the symbiote Spider-Man, I believe, does not actually stay because it's a copy of the card. It's not the original card that you activated, so it's a little freaky, okay? But you're using this kind of as one of your main win cons too, with like your Panther or your Nimrod, just to have a lot of power across the board because they can't Shang-Chi every single lane, right? And then Galactus, you have Galactus to be able to kind of just win a single location, or just be able to go crazy big with your Nimrods and stuff, or using this with a symbiote Spider-Man, you can get some crazy big power there too. Just another one of your just primary win cons with this list. And not a lot of people are playing Galactus right now. Maybe they are with Fallen One, but it felt really solid in this list to be able to have different outs and not fully just commit to, I have to Goblin, Goblin, and Goblin. They know Galactus is coming here. So I kind of make it sure with your Galactus, you don't just only have one lane. Make it so you have a couple different lanes you can kind of mess around with when it comes to Galactus. So maybe they have to play a 50-50. And of course, with priority, it does help. But yeah, that's going to be the general gist of the video for today. I've actually really enjoyed playing the Fallen One, and this deck felt like a lot of fun. A nice little like breath of fresh air. We're going to jump right into some gameplay from stream. If you guys do enjoy the gameplay, definitely feel free to follow me on Twitch as well. We do stream Snap almost every night. We just don't stream on Mondays and Thursdays, but we always do start stream playing Snap, and it is an absolute blast. I'm still enjoying the game a lot right now. I'm actually at like one of my best ranks I think I've been in Snap in it like ever, which is freaking awesome. But yeah, I appreciate you guys, and I will see you at the end of the video. Didn't waste any more time on it. Okay, good start over here. A good start. I got the $10 one, by the way, Swiftman. That's what I have in my shop. What do we got? Surge? Makari? Oh, I'll get him whenever he's in the shop or whatever. I'm not buying him for tokens by itself. I'll get him when he's in what is it? When he's in seasonal packs. Ooh. That actually really sucks for me, I won't lie. You know, I said that really Yeah, I said that really sucked for me. You want me to Zabu, right? Oh, it just looks less productive, like less. Wait, is this Sam Wilson? No, it's not Sam Wilson. This is also like ancient Fallen One things, right? Hello, game? Oh no! Unless! Unless! Unless? My iPad would have been half embedded into the wall. Thought process here could be, this could be actually crazy too. Wait, hold on. Can I get this over here? Wow, yeah, I'm running side to be able to get Gwenpool or Galacta early, but I might put KO back in here, or put KO in here. We just might put KO in here. Oh, wait. This is kind of freaky, eh? This is kind of freaky. Fanta on Fanta. So Invis. We're snapping into Galactus Nimrod right, and then we're gonna go Galactus left. Mysterio. And now we force their. We kind of. Maybe force their hand. Maybe we don't force their hand, but they gotta do some crazy stuff here. I really like our odds. This seems pretty good. We're forcing them to play left. Also, what's going on, Vin? Yeah, true. We could have done Fallen One that last turn and had the extra energy, but instead we're doing this play, especially having Prio. We know it's an Invisible Woman deck, so we're setting this up. Maybe we could have played Nimrod middle just so we could have gotten another Nimrod on the left, but now we both have to wager into this location. Wait. Or this happens. And we literally got the worst roll we could on the left. We did hit it. What is Jawala playing? Jawala's playing in some form of Cerebro, right? Bye. Hood. Maybe it's Cerebro 6. Maybe it's not Cerebro 6. Asteroid M. What's going on, B-Dog? We're doing good, man. How are you doing? We have 4 energy. We do get Symbiote Spider-Man. They go Mobius. Go Surge. If I can get Prio, we snap here. If we don't get Prio, this is a little rough. Beta Ray. Because we're going to have 12 energy. $12 energy seems pretty good. White Tiger. I think it's just this. Yeah, no, I bet they could be running Stardust, and Stardust does hurt. Stardust does hurt us here. we have to line. You've been playing Regis's deck, V-Dog? We do have the Surge. We have Sim. New York makes this really cool. Yo, what's going on, Lycos? I am doing good, man. How are you doing? Oh, this will be interesting. This will be very interesting. Ooh! Oh my gosh. Yeah, we might actually have the nut here. Even if we get this early. Even if we get this early. Oh my gosh, and we get it early? Okay. All right. Do I just do it? I just do it, right? Just like straight up. Just straight up. Are you serious? They hit it? They hit it? Oh, we're dead. We're dead now. We're dead now. They actually hit it with the Iron Lad. 1 out of 5, bro. 1 out of 5, by the way. '12 energy. They play Infinite and She-Hulk. They have Fallen One in hand. Do they have the Infinite and She-Hulk? Yay or nay? Yes or no? They don't. But again, the Buttonmeister with Altar of Death. Hotel Inferno. They lose Panther. I lose Fanta. I get Galacta. This will be interesting. They Pixie. I get Galactus. Nico, what are we getting a copy of here? Hobgoblin. Hobgoblin. This gives me 9 energy. Or no, this gives me 7. So I go to 7 energy plus 2 is 9 energy. I'd have 10 energy next turn. I really wanted Nimrod, honestly. Really wanted Nimrod. But I'll do this. Good old Galactus. We've definitely had some like misplays and stuff tonight. Like totally have had some misplays. But I feel like we have the lines. I don't know if this is the set 12. Definitely don't know if this is the set 12. But we definitely have options here. Definitely have options. Do I just play... This might be a Gwenpool angle, actually. Just in case it's Negasonic. Yeah. In case it's like Negasonic middle. It's a Gwenpool instead of a Galacta. Oh. Okay. Looks like you're paying... Oh my gosh. It looks like you're going to be playing full price there, my friend. Hey, yo, what's going on, Timmy? How you doing, my friends? Great to see you, big dog. Great to see you, Shuri. Oh, good gosh. And the Jin? Get the symbiote. Let's see. Senior Sinus Doctor tomorrow. Oh, really? What you got going on tomorrow? Wait, actually. That is a great point. That is actually an amazing point, Timmy. Because they played the Jin last, Shuri doesn't go off. Wowzers. Wowzers. Yeah. Because... Oh, that's unfortunate. And we snap into having, 14 energy. We're going to have 6... We're going to actually have 17 energy next turn because we had the Jin plus the symbiote onto Fallen One. That's actually funny. Intivis. And it's something that I've just kind of, like, been trying to, like, fine-tune and learn, like, with this. I'm not buying the bundle. I do not think so. Okay, this is a little crazy. This is going to be a little crazy. Can I hit Fallen One here? Please? Nimrod's not bad. Okay, so I go Galacta. They go Gwenpool. I have the Nimrod set up. I have Nimrod. I have Zola. Oh my gosh. This is a snap into Galactus on either one of the lanes. is my thought process here. They have big Galacta. All right, so it's now a 50-50 kind of situation for them. You know what I could do? Wait. Wait, hold on. I have priority here, so... Here we go. They lose Fallen One. Let's go. Bro, Silver Sable hitting Ancient One? Oh, you mean Fallen One? Silver Sable hitting Fallen One, so it's only 3 power kind of thing? They're turn 1 snapping me. I mean, I have Psylocke into Gwenpool or Symbiote here. I'm actually okay with the snap. I believe they might be running Quake in this list. If I was watching someone stream earlier, they were running Quake. So, yeah, no, this deck, we had some like games we were just going for clips, but it's doing much better now. Okay, so we have this. They go Iron Patriot. I have priority. Elysium. Wow, this is insane. We're just gonna go Gwenpool. That's pretty cool. They get a Misery. Misery, Demon, Nico. So this is like Victoria Hand stuff. This is Victoria Hand stuff. I just need to keep in mind. Yeah. The Shuri one, like, Symbiote Spider-Man is just as predictable as, like, the Shuri stuff, like, for sure. But I really like what we just have to work with here. If I get the Victoria Hand into Frigga, into Sandman, they have 2 Victoria Hands. If they play both Victoria Hands, that's going to be 7 plus another 7. So they're going to go 18. 18 plus 5 is 23. I can beat 23. I beat 23 with Panther on the right here. It really just depends on what their card is. What's going on, Miss Joker? They Victoria Hand, and then I go Black Panther, Fanta. Cool. That works. That will work, my friends. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. If you guys did stick around to the very end, definitely feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. We are getting closer and closer to 4,000 subs here on YouTube, and I can't say thank you enough. It's been a blessing, all the love and support from you guys. And let me know down below, what are your guys' thoughts on Fallen 1, and are you guys gearing up and getting excited for High Voltage tomorrow? Because we do get High Voltage tomorrow. It looks really interesting, of course, with the new ban lists and stuff. A lot of bans, a lot of tech has been banned. But yeah, I really do appreciate you guys for watching. It's been real. God bless, and Tucker out.